Hi first graders, this is Miss Scarlato here, and today in music we are going to take a little mini quiz just about the things that we've learned this year in music. It's nothing to worry about. Everything that you will do on this will be very familiar to you. It'll be all of the tas and TTs and rests that we've been talking about and practicing, and your sol, mi, la staff, writing out rhythms, writing out notes, hearing things, and it should all be very familiar to you. So we're going to start out. Your teacher is going to pass out to you this sheet of paper that says first grade written assessment. Looks like this. And when you get that, you also need to get your materials, your clipboard, a pencil, and an eraser. And you'll all need to spread out around the room. So find a spot where you can work on your own test by yourself. You're not looking at anybody else's paper. You are far enough away that you can keep your eyes on your own paper. You can't see anybody else's. You shouldn't be behind the door or by the pillar. You should be in a place where your teacher can see you and where you're looking at your paper only. So go ahead and pause this video, get all of your materials, hand out the tests, and find a place where you can be by yourself. Alright, so after you have found your own working space that you're ready for, make sure you put your name and your class at the top of the paper. We are going to start out with the back side of this test, which looks like this. It's the one that has the sol, mi, 2-line staff, and then the rhythm beat bars at the bottom here. We're going to start with this side of the test because it's the part that we have to do all together as a group. Then after that, I will give you instructions for the first side of the paper, and then you'll be able to work on that independently. So everybody make sure you turn your paper to the side that has the sol, mi, la 2-line stabs on it. So to start out, let's warm up our voices a bit. Alright, everybody repeat after me. Sol, mi, sol. Sing it. And again. Sol, la, sol. Repeat. La, sol, mi. Sing. Sol, mi, la, sol. Alright, so after we've gotten our voices warmed up, I will give you the first note of the pattern. So see where it says A, and then you have the la, sol, mi, 2-line staff. I will tell you what the first note is, and you can start by marking that on your paper. So right away, I will tell you that the first note is sol. So you can draw a little note on sol. So you'll notice that sol on this staff is a space note, and you remember that sol's copycat note on sol-fa street is mi. So all of your sols and mi's will be on spaces like this. Here's your first note, sol. And if you have mi, then it will be on the space below. If you have a la, if you think about your copycat rules, you know that la does not copy sol. So la will be on the line above. So I'll just show you, for example, what your sols, mi's, and la's will look like when you write them down. So here, this is just an example. You don't need to copy this onto your papers, but you can see sol is a space note, mi is a space note, and then la is a line note on the top. And remember we talked about the line notes look almost like a little marshmallow with a stick through it, whereas the space notes are in between the lines like you see right now. So the only note that you need to have written down right now is sol. Sol is the very first note. Otherwise, the rest of the pattern you will listen as I play it on the recorder and figure it out yourself. So again, your paper should look like this, just with sol as your first note. I'm going to sing and play the pattern for you. If you want, you can hum the pattern, but please don't sing the answer out loud because we're all doing this test at the same time and we don't want to give the answer away to anybody. Alright, so here's your first pattern, letter A, starts with the note sol. I will sing sol and then the rest of the pattern on do's, and you have to figure it out. So here it is. Sol, do, do, do. And if you want to copy by also singing sol, do, 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 you may sing that out loud, but please don't sing the actual answers out loud. Here it is again. Sol, do, do, do. Here it is on the recorder. I will sing and play it for you 4 more times. If you've already figured it out, just put your pencil down and listen quietly. Sol, do, do, do. Sol, do, do, do. So go ahead and put your pencils down when you are finished. Your teacher will give you a couple more seconds to finish this up. If you do need it to be repeated later, because you weren't able to get it just now, your sub can go back and rewind part of the video, but that should be enough tries for most people to get it. Alright, we're going to go on to letter B. So this is your second sol mi la pattern that I will sing for you. And I will tell you again, your first note is sol. So go ahead and start by drawing sol as a space note. Go ahead and draw that on your 2-line staff. And I will sing the pattern and play it for you on the recorder 6 times total. So here it is. Sol, do, 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 do. If you would like to sing it in do's, you may. Do that quietly. Here it is again. Sol, do, 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 do. Sol, do, 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 do. Sol, do, 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 do. Alright, take about 30 more seconds to finish your sol mi la patterns and writing those down. Your teacher can pause the video if you're not quite ready. And then we're going to move on to the second section on this page, which is number 4, where it says write out the rhythms clapped by your teacher. So now we're going to switch. We were in sol mi la singing mode. Now we're going to switch to our rhythm mode, rhythm language, which are our ta, ti, and rest language. And you will see where it says 4A, there are 4 beat bars that are written for you. And each of those beat bars should have a rhythm in them. So either a ta, a ti, or a rest. And instead of clapping these rhythms for you, I'm going to play them on the drum so that they'll be easier for you to hear. So this is just an example, don't write this down, but if I played this for you for 4A, that's a really easy one. Think about what the rhythm would be for that and what would you write down. Don't write it down, but just think about it. This is just an example. Okay, so go ahead and say out loud what that rhythm would be. Ready? And here you go. Okay, so it should be ta, 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 ta. And if that was the rhythm that I wrote for you, this is what your paper would look like. Ta, 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 and notice that there is a rhythm on each of those 4 beat lines. But that wasn't one for you, that was just a warm-up since you know that well. So here is pattern 4A. And again, if you need to tap the rhythm on the floor to echo, or tap it on your lap, or clap it quietly, that's fine, but please don't say the answer out loud. Nobody should be speaking tas, titis, or rests. You're just writing them down because we don't want to give the answers away. So here's your very first one, 4A. Think about where the slower notes are and where the faster notes are. I will play it 4 more times for you. Ready? Again, here I go. Here's the third time. Last time, here I go. All right, we're on to letter B, your second rhythm. Ready? And here I go. I'll play it 4 more times for you. Here I go. Here I go. Here it is again. Last time, here I go. Take about 30 seconds. Your teacher might want to pause the video to finish up letter 4B. Here is 4C. Now remember, each of your beat bars have to have a rhythm on them. So if there's one where there's a beat bar but you don't hear a sound, don't say it out loud, but think, what does that mean? What rhythm gets no sound? Here's 4C again. Here I go. Here I go. And your last time for letter 4C. Here it is. Ready and go. All right, and 4D also has 4 beats, just like the other patterns. Same thing, each of the beat bars needs to have either a ta, a titi, or rest on them. Here's 4D. Ready? Here I go. Here I go. Again, if there's a space where you don't hear a sound, think about what that might mean. Here I go. Here it is again. Ready and go. And here's the last time for 4D. Ready and go. Go ahead, pause the video and take about 30 seconds to finish up that last one. Alright, so once you have finished your rhythms, I'm going to explain the rest of the test, and then you will be given independent work time to finish the rest of it. During this independent work time, again, your voices should be off. Your eyes should be only on your own paper. And then when you are done, you need to just sit there patiently, put your pencil down, and once your teacher sees that everybody has completed their test, he or she will collect them from you and you can put your materials away. But please don't raise your hand and say, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. Just patiently put your pencil down and quietly wait. So on the same page that we just worked on, you'll see at the bottom of the page there is a chart that looks like this. It should be very familiar to you. We do it a lot in class. It's got the sounds and beats of ta, titi, and rests. Now you remember, when we figure out sounds for notes, we clap the notes and count the number of sounds. When we figure out the beats for notes, we pat the steady beats on our lap and we see how many steady beats each of those rhythms takes up. So we're not going to do this as a class because this is an independent part, but you need to write a number in each one of those boxes. How many sounds does a ta get? How many sounds does a titi get? How many sounds does a rest get? And then below it, how many beats a ta gets? How many beats a titi gets? And how many beats a rest gets? So you should have a number in each one of those boxes. That's how you do that part. Then flip over to the front page. This is the side of that you wrote your name on. Looks like this. And in the top, the chart at the top, you have a list of words. So you can see it says there, 3 little ducks play over hills far. And what you need to do on your own is quietly tap or clap each one of those words and decide if it is a ta or a titi word. Okay, so clap the word. So for example, 3, clap it, 3. And then clap ta, clap titi, and decide if that word should be a ta or it should be a titi. Then you will write that word underneath the ta column or underneath the titi column. Then, when you go to number 2, you will take the work that you did in number 1, figuring out if those words were tas or titis, and you are going to write the rhythm in above the words that I wrote out. So the poem, I will read it to you in number 2, sounds like this. 1 little duck went out to play over the hills and far away. So on each of those beat bars, you need to clap the word that is underneath it, and then above you need to draw the rhythm that goes with that word. So for example, where it says 1, clap or tap the word 1 to yourself, 1, and then decide, is that a ta, a titi, or a rest, and then write that rhythm above the word, above the beat line. And if you look underneath where it says far away, there's a hint. It says if there is no word or sound under a beat line, what rhythm would that be? So think about that as you are completing part 2. So at this point, we're going to have independent work time. Make sure your eyes are on your own paper. You should complete on your own all of page 1 and then the chart of sounds and beats on the bottom of page 2. So you can turn off the video now. Once everybody is done, your teacher will collect all of your tests. Please make sure your name and class are at the top. Thank you.